Welcome to Revive with RxOnWeb, where we interview independent pharmacies to understand how very own pharmacies turn out to be actually a superhero during the tough times and how these independent pharmacies are driving patients' care in America. And today with us have the owner of Bestcare Pharmacy. Ganga, can you just give a little bit of introduction for everybody who would be watching this? A little bit about what is Bestcare Pharmacy and all of that.
Thank you, Prasan, for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate it. Bestcare Pharmacy is located in Akron, Ohio. We started in 2022, so it's not that been long. We opened our door on January 28th of last year. So we kind of missed the COVID time, the intense period of time. We kind of missed that, but I graduated in 2020. So since then, we started the process. Even after graduating, I had to get my license. I got my license in Arizona. Then, I was in Arizona. There was not a huge Nepali population. Even though my intention was to open a pharmacy, but ultimately what I thought was, how can I make a biggest impact? Working at a big chain store, or working at a hospital. In the beginning, it was kind of working. I wanted to work at a hospital. I did full residencies interview also, but at the back of my mind, I was always thinking of serving my own community. So one of my friend, I call him Uncle. He graduated a couple of years ago. He started a pharmacy in Columbus. Then it kind of became a little easier for me to think about my own dream. So we started the process in the beginning of 2021, but everything took a long period of time. It needed a huge investment, and I moved out to Akron, Ohio, in 2021, and started looking some locations. Then my own family members, my brothers, they are my dad's brother's sons, I would say cousins. So they helped me build the place, and I was involved in the construction. We did everything ground up by our. We did not hire anybody. We renovated the place. We built the countertops for the pharmacy, and all the process took us like almost a year to get it done. So all the state's licensing and everything was completed by the end of the year, 2021. So we opened our door and started dispensing medication in the beginning of 2022.
Okay. How was the conversation on your head when you were planning to start this pharmacy? Like, is it going to work out? Is it not going to work out? Because it's a business altogether. It's a new startup. You can say, okay. So how was it in your head playing it out? Like, where you always so sure that, yeah, I want to go and do this no matter what. It is going to help me and get me into a bigger purpose from here.
So yeah, opening a business is the there's always in the back of your head, whether you will succeed, whether you will encounter a big challenges that make your business worthless, or thinking about serving a community is one thing and surviving is another thing, right? If you don't sustain, if you don't make enough to pay your employees, pay your rent, and pay yourself, you're not going to be able to serve the community. So that has to be the priority, right? So the biggest advantage we had was I'm a pharmacist, right? So the pharmacist, the biggest cost driver at a pharmacy is the salary of the pharmacist. So, when I was a student, I was living under 1,500 a month. So I don't need a lot of money to survive, right? I don't need my whole pharmacy salary to make my ends meet. That gave me a little more confidence, even though if we do not pick up right away, we can still be able to pay our delivery driver, be able to pay our rent, be able to pay our technicians, because I can take the hit. I don't have to take my salary out so if we had another pharmacist, we had to pay him or her like every month, more than what the pharmacists make, their salary, their health insurance, maybe their retirement. So that saved us some cost. And back of my mind, there was some reservation that it might take a while to pick up and maybe be a little more comfortable. But another thing I had, another thing that gave me more confidence was when I came visit my families in Akron. We have big extended families here. Everybody was asking me about the medications, because when they go to CVS, when they go to Walgreens, or when they go to a independent pharmacy here, they are not able to talk to the pharmacist who speaks Nepali. They don't have the Nepali pharmacist in Akron. So everywhere I go, they're asking me about the medications that they are taking. And being from a Nepali community, our community is skeptical of Western medicine, frankly saying, because growing up in Nepal or Bhutan, our parents, they kind of, they were not exposed to the modern medicine. So, and as soon as they come to America, taking 10 different medications is a huge challenge for them also. And also, they are not used to it and they do not understand. Doctor or pharmacist, a doctor might prescribe the medication, pharmacist will dispense the medication and ask them, they counsel them on drug-drug interaction maybe, or adverse side effect, and the doctor will tell them to take the medication, right? Because they have the blood sugar, they have high blood sugar, they have hypertension, high blood pressure, and every time they go back to the hospital, go back to the clinic, it's still not under control. So they will add the medication, but the ultimate person who takes the medication is the patient. So if the patient is not taking the medication, it's not going to work. So to take the medication, the patient has to feel comfortable, right? And how do you feel comfortable? You feel comfortable when you know what you are taking, when you know how it works, when you know what it does, when you know the consequence of not taking the medication.
Exactly.
So it becomes easier for me to explain it to them. It becomes easier for me to explain it to them, and they will understand better. For example, a couple of days ago, a young lady was started on a levothyroxine. It's a hypothyroid medication. So in the beginning, when I called her and talked about the medication, she asked me, do I have to take this medication, and is it safe? And the way I explain some of the medication is, if a pregnant woman can take it and it is safe for a child inside her home, it's safe for you. So the levothyroxine, even a pregnant woman can take it. If she does not take the medication and the baby is inside, it affects the baby. But the medication is safe, and it helps when the pregnant woman is not taking the medication and she still has the her hypothyroidism is not controlled. It hurts the baby. It affects the baby. But when the patient takes the medication, it is safe for the baby, and it's good for the baby. So there is a cost and there is a risk and benefit, and so the way
So
we
the
are
only
not
person,
trained.
only
The
person who can
way
actually communicate this information to the patient is actually the pharmacist. And it is
the
very important
pharmacist.
for the pharmacist to have that personal connect with the patient. Right.
And the and I kind of lost my train of thought here. So what I was saying. So the lady. What I was so risk versus benefit. So as a pharmacist, we can explain that, but our community members or our patient population, they are not really they do not have the ability to put this in perspective, risk versus benefit. And they might have gotten information from a non-medical professional, wrong information. So that prevents them from taking the medication. So we can break that barrier. We can make a small impact. So thinking about we have a patient population that needs my service, that feels comfortable with me. I knew we had the opportunity to grow. So going back to your question, was there a reservation, or was there at the back of your mind, back of your head, that whether we will succeed or not? So that was the big confidence booster, that I have a population in my area that I can help, and in return they can help me sustain or survive.
Got it. That actually answers the next question as well, which I was about to ask you. Which is local independent pharmacy are facing a threat from this big chain retail pharmacies. I would not name them, but I'm sure these big chain retail pharmacies who are out there and giving the similar kind of care that local independent pharmacies give. So yeah, what is your take on that? You kind of answered that, but still in this context, what would you say?
So for us, yes, the risks to small business from big chain pharmacy is there for independent pharmacy. I believe the number of independent pharmacies are going down. If we think about 50, 30, 40 years ago, there were a lot of independent pharmacies, but slowly the rate of reimbursement has gone down. We call a PBM, pharmacy benefit manager. It has hurt the pharmacies, independent pharmacies, I would say, especially. And the big chain pharmacy, the way they have a group buying system, or they have a buying power. there are thousands of pharmacies. They have CVS, probably has tens of thousands of pharmacies in the United States. So they have
Absolutely.
they could probably have their own suppliers, wholesalers. So they can really save money in buying drugs, buying medications. But we, as an independent pharmacy, we may not have that leverage. So cost-wise, if the rate of reimbursement goes down, it will hurt us pretty bad, and it could put many independent pharmacies out of business. But for us, I don't think there is a risk from big chain store to us specifically, because, as I said, we are serving our niche population, and they are in switching from the other pharmacies to us, because we can provide that tailored services to them.
Absolutely.
We can address their needs better than any other pharmacy in Akron, I would say.
Understood. That is absolutely wonderful. Now, I would like to ask you this. That I understand it's a community pharmacy. You are very niche based. You are basically targeting only those people from Nepal, Bhutan, or I would say East Asians, right? So do you think there is there is a factor or a fear factor or something that drives a negative response from, or a community which does not get that equal status in US or something like that prevailing in the pharmacy business as well? Okay, because have you formed like groups or something? Okay, this pharmacy is a black known pharmacy, this pharmacy is a independent Asian pharmacy, or this is a white pharmacy. Do you see that kind of discrimination or something?
So, we started our business with the intention of helping everybody, right? The way we get more of our Nepali population is I have the connection, right? They know me, so they come to our service. They come to our pharmacy. And we have, now we are slowly getting other populations. But from the beginning, we are not just serving our Nepali people, we are serving everybody. For example, as soon as we started our pharmacy, I started getting, you probably remember the crisis that happened in Afghanistan, the pull-out of the troops and the subsequent event that followed. So we had an influx of Afghani refugees. So, right, in Akron, we probably had 200 households, not 200 households, maybe 100 households come in last year. So in that time, we had a connection with some providers, right? We were serving a few Nepali patients in the beginning, but the providers knew that, we have a new immigrant pharmacist who speaks Nepali, who speaks Hindi, and is motivated to help patients. Let's send some patient to him and see how it goes. So they sent me a couple of Afghani patients. I went to their home. I explained the medications to them. I help them. When you first come to America, it's a huge cultural shock, and also, you do not know anything. And I kind of remembered that time that we had that, such a tough time when we first came. And they were speaking Hindi, so I was able to communicate a little bit in Hindi. And they went back to the provider's office next time, and they explained it to the provider that how the pharmacist came and explained their medication. Now they are taking their medication correctly. So the Afghani patients, they were sending it to me. There are pharmacies that were here for 50 years, maybe. So, but the patient, if the patient feel comfortable with a pharmacist or a pharmacy, the provider will send this patient to you, because the patient receives a better care. So not just providers sending us patients and we're dispensing medication. Some of the patients did not have health insurance. We took care of those patients, because especially in the beginning, you might have to take some antibiotics, some antiparasitics. When you come to America, some latent TB therapy, and you wait for a couple months to have your Medicaid arrive or to go through that process. We thought that, at least we can do is help these people, even though we are new, even though we might take a loss. Let's help them. So we did not hold back on medication. We started dispensing right away. So even though we were taking loss. So we are, from the beginning, we are serving diverse population, and mainly we have immigrant population right now, immigrant from all over the world, Afghanistan, Nepal, many countries from Africa, Southeast countries, Vietnam, Burma. So we are mainly serving, our main patient population is immigrant population, but we are also getting here and there at least 1 or 2 patients a day from the American community. I would say Caucasian, African Americans, Hispanic Americans. So the reason they come to us, and we have not done any marketing either. So we will start marketing down the road. But now they feel it might, when they Google it, our pharmacy might pop up close to them. So they come to get some over-the-counter medication. So I end up talking to them, and if they feel comfortable switching to our pharmacy, they switch to our pharmacy. And we're getting a couple patients a day. So that's how we intend to grow with the other population. But those patients, the patient who we serve, they're very happy with our service. And many patients, the main American, the non-immigrant patients, some of them, they may not have health insurance, and they get the medication at better price than any other pharmacies in our area. So I think even though I'm a immigrant, and we serve mainly immigrant patients, but everyone can walk into our pharmacy and get the service with same respect, same same due diligence, and same pricing.
Wonderful. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. So what is one problem that you would like to solve for all the independent local pharmacies across the United States? One problem that you think is currently, might be on the top of your mind, or which is a continuous problem for most of the local independent pharmacies. What is that problem that you would like to solve?
I would say, so we have been in business for a little over a year. So many of the problems that the independent pharmacy face, we might not be facing. So I may not know it, right? So down the road, maybe 5-10 years in the business, I might be able to say, hey, I'd like to solve this problem. But now we are doing so much, and I'm kind of putting almost 80 hours a week work hours. So the problem independent pharmacy face in the beginning is not enough patients, right? Not enough work, I would say, but we have enough work. I have no complaints in that. And so independent pharmacies are almost always pharmacist owned. If you are not a pharmacist, it's very difficult to open a pharmacy. And even if you open a pharmacy and you are not a pharmacist, you have money, let's say you have money, and you hired a pharmacist, and you want to open a pharmacy, and you have a pharmacist working for you. It's difficult because when you are not a pharmacist, you cannot go inside the pharmacy without the pharmacist. If there is no pharmacist inside the pharmacist, and you are the owner and you are not the pharmacist, you cannot enter into the pharmacy, right? And you cannot build that population. You cannot build that relationship with the patients. And
Absolutely.
you have hired a pharmacy who can come at 9 and leaves at 5, 6, 7, or you have hired multiple pharmacists. And in the beginning, if you are hiring 2 pharmacists to cover your weekend and weekdays, is a huge cost driver, and you may not survive. So many independent pharmacies, even though if it's pharmacist run, they end up closing on weekends. Why? Because they need the family time. They need, they cannot work 7 days a week. So being a pharmacist owner, and I'm highly motivated. I kind of open 7 days a week for now. All right.
Wonderful.
I
That's
open
wonderful.
Monday to Friday. I also open on Saturday, and I partly open on Sundays. The reason I do it is thinking of our patient populations. So our patient population, they may not speak English. So they go to emergency, let's say Friday night, their medication is sent to us at night. Patient expects to take that medication, especially if it is antibiotic, pain medication. They want to take it as soon as possible, right? So if you are closing on Saturday and Sunday, your patient is taking medication on Monday now. You are sending medication on Monday, or the patient comes and your pharmacy is closed, they go back. So
got it.
they are not taking on Monday, Saturday, Sunday. Now they have to take. They will have to take medication on Monday. If it is a severe if it is a infection that could progress, so 2 days of not taking antibiotics is going to be harmful to you. So
absolutely.
So independent pharmacy, they have the patient, close relationship with the patients. So that even though if the pharmacy is closed, for example, if I'm closed on Sunday, so if some patients come after I closed on Sunday, or if our pharmacy is closed for the day, they can still call my cell phone number and be able
it's
to
more of
provide
a personalized care that you are able to deliver because of opening Monday, not only just Monday to Fridays, available to them on Saturdays and Sundays as well. So now my next question is about digitalization of pharmacies. Okay, I'm sure you know that for promotions, these pharmacies nowadays are on Instagram, on LinkedIn, or on TikToks or something like that. Do you think that is something which can actually help pharmacies build a better relationship with the patient, wherein the information to what needs to be taken and what not needs to be taken is delivered directly by a pharmacy? Does that help?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. The way you can get to the patient or new patient, I think digital going digital or have your presence in the internet. It's important. And actually, we're looking into it also. Our population is not that internet savvy, but their children might be. So we will increase our footprint in the internet slowly. But and if you if your system or if your pharmacy operation is digitalized, I think it will be a lot easier to provide the services to the patients also. But it could be in the beginning you might have a small patient population, and considering the cost, it might not be a good idea in the beginning. But down the road, when you are humming, I would say, digitalization would probably make your operation efficient, and also I would say provide a better service. For example, we are trying to do vaccination soon, and if we have a system that a patient can sign up and make an appointment in the internet, on our website, or through some medium,
right? That would be
wonderful,
isn't it?
They don't have to call us and make an appointment. It takes our time, like at least even 5 minutes is a very important time at a pharmacy. So if they can make an appointment online and we get notified at 10:45 a.m. You have an appointment for vaccination. So we are prepared for that. Somebody walks in, we're there, give the vaccination, and it's a much better experience for the patient and much better operation for us.
Wonderful. Absolutely. Now that we are in the end of the interview, it's almost like 35 minutes or so. All right. So one question that I would like to ask you, okay, is one message that you would like to give out to anybody who's watching this. A short, sweet, crisp message that you want to give it out to everyone who's watching.
So this will be the end of the interview. Okay. I really appreciate you for in the beginning I was kind of hesitant to do the interview because we get so many calls at the pharmacy, and and last week something came up and I was not able to make it. I apologize for that. And so all right, let me go to my short message. I think message would be for young people, especially a person who is going to college or trying to do something good for the community. Just work hard. Make sure you don't lose your, if you have an aim or if you have a dream that you want to follow, give it a time. And, there might be ups and downs, but slowly it comes to fruition. But, don't try to find a shortcut. It never works, especially in the healthcare field. Have a compassion to patients, people who you are serving, and especially being from an immigrant community. If you are educated, if you are a little bit in a upper position, there are so many people who have put who looks after you, who looks up on you. So try to do your best, and make a
difference.
Make a difference, and always do not think about money or prestige, but how you can make the biggest impact. Like I said earlier, in the beginning, work in a hospital, or I was also thinking of a research. when I was in the pharmacy school. But I always wanted to, get involved in the community and work. So so that way I kind of maximize my, utility, I would say, because
Wonderful.
the people, our community people, can come to our pharmacy, get the service they want. They can talk to a
Got it.
pharmacy, and at the end of the day, I also feel better. I'm doing something
Wonderful.
worthwhile instead of
Wonderful.
going at some other place and working just for me, or other. Yeah.
Understood. Understood. Okay. So we actually have a 40-minute limit on this, So what I'll do is I'll restart this meeting. If in case it disconnects, join
Mhm.
back and we can take it forward from there. Okay. Meanwhile, while it is going on, I want you to go ahead and tell the name of the complete pharmacy and the address of the pharmacy where patients can come and visit and take the service of Bestcare Pharmacy at the best. Yeah.
Okay. So our pharmacy's name is Bestcare Pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
Bestcare, B as boy.
Mm-hmm.
One word, Bestcare. It's
Mm-hmm.
in Ohio, location at 1948 Buckholzer.
Mm-hmm.
B as a
Mm-hmm.
boy, UCHHOLZ as zebra, ER. Buckholzer
Mm-hmm.
Boulevard, Akron, Ohio,
Mm-hmm.
44310. We are
Mm-hmm.
close by the Sam's Club. We are close to Sam's Club. There
Mm-hmm.
is a men's warehouse nearby, and it used to be
Mm-hmm.
a Union Eye Care building. Before it was a Union Eye Care eyeglasses place, and now
Mm-hmm.
it's a pharmacy.
Wonderful.
And
Wonderful.
they
So,
call me. Let me give our phone number so they can call us at 234-334-0048. So that is the pharmacy's number.
one thing that we missed on actually, and I want you to just let everybody who will be watching this, to let them know that please subscribe to RxOnWeb channel so that they get some necessary information that is required from the patients. Idea is very simple: to actually help the community of pharmacies, to communicate the local independent, to help the local independent pharmacies. At the same point of time, if you are able to add a message which can help patients across United States to take better care, that would be something, a mission accomplished kind of a thing for us. Okay. So yeah, if you can just let everybody know that, please
Uh,
subscribe
Tell me a
to
little bit
RxOnWeb.
more about the tell me a little bit more about the RxWeb. I kind of
I'll tell you. So for everybody who is listening, RxOnWeb is an application which helps patients connect their pharmacies. They can uh, download the application. It is available on iOS. It is available on iPad. It is available on Google Play Store. They can download. They can find their pharmacies. Though, as the pharmacy, you have to first register yourself to be found by your patients. And once you are registered, your patients can find you and then send you easy refills. Not only that, they can also go ahead and manage their own medications, manage the dosages, okay, interact with you on text messages. They can request a refill from you just by click of a button, and at the same point of time you can go and refill that medications and delivery of that medication as well. Okay, so that is what RxOnWeb as an application does. You can go ahead and download it from the Google Play Store and Android App Store. The link would be provided in the description below in this video, and you can go and do it. So the idea and the agenda behind RxOnWeb starting was to help digitalize local independent pharmacies so that they're getting the necessary help which is required in order for them to educate their patients and get good business, and at the same point of time serve a better locality, you know give that personal touch which probably is missing in the local, which probably is missing in the big chain pharmacies. So that is all what differentiates a local pharmacy from a big chain pharmacy, is the personal care that you give your patients, isn't it? So with that
mhm.
idea, RxOnWeb is in there. Okay, so that's what we do. Not only
Okay.
that, there
Yeah.
are other things as well. As we do a lot of community building wherein we help pharmacies with virtual technicians. We help them with reconciliation services. We also help them with managing the marketing, which is digital marketing completely from A to Z. And that has been our main driver of RxOnWeb. All right. So,
Okay.
yes.
Oh, yeah. Now, yeah, that's one of the thing that independent pharmacy actually would like to expand to. Earlier we talked about the digitalization. The chain pharmacies, they might have a entire team of digital expert maybe working for them.
Exactly.
So you might be that for the independent pharmacies, and it not just helps the pharmacy, but it also helps patients receive a better care through their pharmacy, because it will streamline the streamline the what do you say, the medium of communication from the patient to the pharmacy. So looks like a wonderful application. Please have it download and give it a try. We will definitely download and see how it helps us. I'll talk to my software vendor how we can
Which
implement.
application are you guys using?
We are using BestRx.
BestRx. All right, that is wonderful. That is a wonderful software. We would be. I would like to talk to you over this, integration. And yes, absolutely, we would love to integrate with you if possible, and give you the services which is required. And as I said, as RxOnWeb, okay, the complete focus is to make sure that we are able to help as much as possible to the local independent pharmacies grow and succeed. We understand the pain that they go through. It started actually by it is actually started by a pharmacy owner himself, and okay, his name is Kalu Nadukwe, and he's the owner of the pharmacy himself. He's from New Jersey, and he understood the pain of all the other pharmacies, and that is how we, as RxOnWeb, came into existence. So the idea is very simple: to help as much people as we can, as much pharmacies as we can, and spread the message out that as a patient, what all you need to do and how you can connect to your pharmacy, and as a pharmacist, as a local independent pharmacies, what are things we need to make sure that we are growing together, helping each other, other independent pharmacy, okay, and perform a group at the same point of time. Okay, so yeah, moving forward, we would also bring some discount plans available for specially curated plans for all these independent pharmacies. The more and more people we get involved, and that is how we are planning to flourish. So yeah, it was really great talking to you, Ganga, and I really appreciate you for you taking your time out on a Sunday, giving us that important time, and being available on an interview. I hope you don't mind we getting recording, getting this
No.
recorded and putting it on YouTube for other people and for your own community to know, and find you and come to you, and whatever you said, that the service that you offer, okay, they get that personal care. All right, thank you so much for joining. For all those people who are watching you, please download the application RxOnWeb and make sure that you find Bestcare Pharmacy and get the help which is required, which is needed. And I can assure you that these guys can actually go and help you with each and every request that you make from the pharmacy. At the same point of time, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe